So conservatives are now threatening to take legal action if Kamala Harris is the nominee for the presidency of the Democratic Party. Mike Johnson, the little rat that he is now threatening legal action because apparently Harris becoming the nominee is against Democratic values, in spite of the fact that Johnson supports a former president who called for the suspension of the Constitution, staged an insurrection, and tried to steal an election by trying to get Mike Pence to throw out a valid slate of electoral college electors. Multiple slates, actually. Let's see what the traitor Mike himself, the enabler of Putin, Moscow Mike, has to say.
And in some of the states, there are impediments to just switching someone out like that. 14 million people went through the process and chose this nominee, Joe Biden. Now a handful of people have gotten together and decided he's no longer suitable. That's not how this system works. They are violating democratic principles. And I think that's a real problem, and I think there'll be a lot said about that in the days ahead.
It's not a real problem. You won't do it. Do something about Trump then. If you are so in favor of democracy, do something about Trump. I dare you to try to get Trump ejected from the nomination. Trump, the very man who called for the suspension of the Constitution, the very thing every single serviceman, be it a member of the military or a politician, but every single one of y'all swore an oath to uphold and protect the United States Constitution. You currently serve a man, because you don't serve this country, you serve a man who called for the suspension of that document because of election fraud that he knew didn't exist. And you think you possess the moral high ground necessary to bully the United States of America into accepting a nominee that they're saying, hey, like, we don't want. Because at this point, you don't represent America. So I'm just going to refer to the Democrat Party as America. You are trying to force the United States, because you guys will be the United States of Trump. You are trying to force the United States of America to accept Joe Biden as a nominee, despite the fact that 70% of Democrats said, we're over this guy. Despite the fact that every single high-ranking Democrat has endorsed Kamala Harris, you think it's up to you, Moscow Mike, to tell us what goes on around here. Don't you have Putin's to suck sometime soon? Who are you to talk about what should be happening in this country and what's democracy and what's not? Shut up. Talking about there's going to be we're going to hear about that. Aren't you the same guy who sat there for like 7 months blocking aid to Ukraine, and then when the professionals briefed you on why you should do it, you finally listen? You're a child. You're a little boy. It wouldn't, bro, I'm telling you right now, the Pentagon would not have to brief me, because I'm a real nigga. They wouldn't have to brief me about why Putin needs to be stopped. I don't need my hand held through basic geopolitics. But you, at your old ass age, needed the Pentagon to come in and be like, all right, dumbasses, gather around, crisscross applesauce all around me. Let me explain to all you Trumpites why you're doing retarded shit here. Let me explain to all of you Trumpites common sense, because y'all seem to lack it in spades. Talking about some, this ain't democratic and 12 million Americans voted for blah, blah, blah. Ain't you the same voting for a who sat there and said, what the other side of the country voted for? I'm the president, even if it's not true, and I will ask my VP to throw out valid slates of electors so I can be president again. You think after serving and continuing to serve that man as your master, you think you have the moral high ground to tell Americans who still abide by the rule of law what is or isn't democratic? This is what we're dealing with. Y'all Republicans are panicking about Kamala, and I understand. I'd be scared too. I'd be scared too, because all the, oh, he's old and decrepit and Hunter Biden and all that, it's over now. Now you gotta like complain about Kamala Harris being brown, which is not really original, or being a woman, which is also a tried and true and really worn out method of demonizing a political opponent. I really hope we don't make the same mistake with it. Hillary was such an obvious choice, and it's so obvious Kamala's the better choice here. I hope misogyny does not win out this election cycle. I truly hope the showdown between Harris and Trump makes up for what we failed to do with Hillary and Trump. I really do. But the truth is, they're panicking. Republicans are panicking about Kamala Harris. They're freaked about Kamala Harris. They're terrified of Kamala, and they're scrambling for any and everything they can find to try to disqualify Kamala Harris from being the nominee, because she can out-debate Trump, she can tour, and possibly even tour longer than Trump and more aggressively than Trump. Trump's a senior citizen. He's geriatric. The dude's an elderly. He's like a jogger. You know what I mean? At any point in time now, dust might start dropping down from that, I don't know, you call it hair or whatever you call that on his head. He's aging. He's out there. Ancient. All that old man stuff, now you've got the old man. I'm genuinely curious to see what they're going to do here. Donald Trump himself is also panicking. Donald says, who is running our country right now? It's not Crooked Joe. He has no idea where he is. If he can't run for office, he can't run our country. That's not how this works, Donald. And you of all people cannot tell the country how this, no, absolutely not. Donald then goes on to say, Biden never had COVID. He's a threat to democracy. Really? Really? Which is it, Donald? Is Biden too old and decrepit or not? Like, you want to, oh, he never had COVID. He's just old and decrepit. He can stay in the race. You were arguing that his decrepitness was why he shouldn't be president and why he probably should drop out. Which is it now? Like, come on. Come on. First it was, we could easily beat Kamala. Then you got really, really locked in on this idea of going against Joe. And once it became really, really clear that Kamala actually would be a threat, now you're panicking. I heard from Republicans over and over and over again that Kamala would be light work and the Democrats really should keep Joe and blah, 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 because if Kamala goes up against Donald, she'll get her ass whooped. But all I'm seeing right now is pure panic. So Trump also says the Democrats pick a candidate, Crooked Joe Biden. Look at Deceptive Don trying to give people nicknames. He loses a debate badly, then panics and makes mistake after mistake. Is told he can't win and decide they will pick another candidate, probably Harris. They stole the race from Biden after he won it in the primaries, because apparently replacing the president with his vice president is stealing the race from him. A first, which it's not a first at all. These people are the real threat to democracy. So the guy who tried to steal an election from half the country is about to lecture the entire country about what a threat to democracy is. Donald Trump is the most un-American president I've ever seen. It's like nothing about this country resonates with him at all. Nothing. This is a guy who sat there and said, I gave McCain the funeral he wanted. I didn't get a thank you. There's nothing patriotic about this man. That's why when Millie, you know what? I'm done not believing that. When Millie said that Trump said that the troops were losers and suckers, at this point, I just can't not believe it. This guy said, I prefer people who weren't captured. This guy said that I gave him the funeral he wanted. I didn't get a thank you. This guy does not respect anything about the office of the presidency or the military. I don't think he gives a single. It's all just an extension of his aggrandizement. I don't think he cares at all. Not at all. Now, Sean Hannity is going to explain to you why voting for Kamala is a really, really hard thing for Americans to do. Really tough, really difficult. And this is why.
Here's just one reason that voters seem to detest Kamala Harris. You decide.
Okay, so.
You are everyone here, right? We are special. You know,
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
Yes, you're giggling, Vice.
And is that supposed to mean something? She's laughing too much? Oh no, let's replace her with the president who never laughs, Donald Trump. So because Kamala Harris laughs too much, and she's black and female, it's the end of the republic. Sean Hannity, how old are you? You too old to be doing this. You a grown-ass man, really a fossil, and you're complaining about a presidential candidate laughing too much. Really? This is why conservatives detest Kamala Harris? I don't think these Hillary tactics are going to work a second time. Trump has shown his ass. We finally see the man for the criminal, traitor, and treasonous hack he truly is, and this time you don't have just funny tweets on your side. You can try to pretend like Kamala Harris laughing is some kind of gotcha, but if this is the best Fox News can drum up, y'all are in trouble. Furthermore, it's really, really funny that y'all have the audacity to try to take Kamala Harris's side. It's really funny that you guys have the audacity to try to take Donald Trump's side. Need I remind you guys, you lost $700 million because of the lie about the election being stolen to Dominion voting. You lost $700 million. $700 million, and you continue to gargle on Trump's meat. What is wrong with y'all? At this old-ass age, y'all haven't gathered the stones to simply look the Trump fan base in the face and say, guys, Trump lied about the election being stolen. It's not true. We've been lying to you guys for quite some time, and we're sorry we did that. But from this moment forward, we have to make it abundantly clear and concise to y'all that the election was not stolen and we lied. Instead, you kowtow to the Trump base, and now you and the rest of the conservative media circle is now audience captured and held hostage by this Trump cult, in which you have to pretend that a woman laughing is somehow or another deep insight into why she is not capable or qualified for being the president of the United States. But an insurrectionist, a treasonous liar, someone who said that I could have given, I didn't get the thank you I deserve for giving McCain the funeral he wanted. You think that guy represents what a president should act like in this country. All of you establishment media people knew Trump was a bad idea from day one, but because his base became too powerful, you all folded instead of standing your ground and making it abundantly clear to your audience, no, this is not the way. And now you think in 2024, Sean Hannity, that you have the moral high ground, especially as a Fox News henchman, to tell the United States of America that Kamala Harris should be despised or is despised because of her laughter. Oh my God, what the fuck is happening to this country, bro? Trump is one of the worst things to happen to this country, bar none, I swear to God. Absolutely insane. They're panicking over Kamala because now they don't have the same ammo that they used to. I guess they'll just make up ammo. I hope they keep using she's DEI. Keep using the roundabout N-word you guys have been using for the last, few months. Keep that one up. I can't wait to see you guys completely launch her to the presidency through racism and misogyny. Can't wait to see that one happen. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.